Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode in the hardcore Minecraft world. As you can see, I've put in a little bit of work off camera, and if we have a look around, I'm going to give you a brief scope as to what's been done and then outline what we will be doing in today's video. So first off, if we look over this way, you'll notice I've leveled off our little sandbar a little bit more because this storage system is very crude, and I will probably transition it to more of a linear style, though this is very much still going to be our starter type area, and I don't plan on building a real house here, though if I do, I'll probably set up a little bit of a fishing shack type thing that comes off of the end here out into the water on a pier type thing, which could be kind of fun to do. But the main things that we have looked at or done is you'll notice there's a couple of differences here with our strip mine. Of course, I've filled it out quite a bit, so it looks pretty nice in my opinion. Got a little bit of a textured path here that leads from the sandbar to the mine itself. You'll notice here that I have some stairs, adding some additional textures to the overall entrance here. I haven't decided whether or not I want to use these stairs up here as well. I might play around with that a little bit between this section and the next. But the biggest thing that we've done is you'll notice that the entire inside here has been overhauled. Let's go ahead and get a little torch put up there. And you'll notice that the entirety of this hallway is now uniform with some stone. And as we come down here to the bottom, there's been a pretty drastic change, as this is now seeing, or now appears as, a tunnel rather than a large open cavern. If I were to dig this out, you'd see that there's still very much big open spaces back behind it, but that's totally fine. So what are we going to do today? Well, there's a couple of different things. The first is that we are actually going to put together some support frames for some overall aesthetic here, and then eventually we will be digging out this tunnel to have the main branch in more of a 3x3 pattern, kind of like this, which extends out to this position here. So that's 3 wide, and that is a skeleton that we're going to have to deal with. Now that he's missed, let's zoom in a little bit closer. And I'm going to need to light up these tunnels a little bit better and close off these sections so I don't get surprised as much with that. So that'll be fun. But we'll make this one taller as well. And then this granite outline is actually a really good framework for what we are meant to be looking at today, because that is the support system that we're going to be doing, and we will be making that out of a combination of oak and spruce logs with a lantern hanging off the top here, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll get into that here in just a moment in more of a time-lapse format, but I want to walk you through a couple of other things that we have seen here. So of course I've gone through a lot of resource grinding. I've got a ton of oak and spruce logs for this project and a significant amount of spruce saplings, which are going to be nice for rebuilding or replenishing our supply either here or at the place that we eventually end up. You'll also see that we've got a decent amount of sugarcane growing around here, which will be good. We've done a lot of deforestation in a spruce biome that's just right over here, or a mountain biome that grows those spruce trees. We've also done some overhauls to the top and outside of this, and I left some of the andesite in there, but I feel like I wanted to leave it feeling about as natural as I could, but still close off the actual mine itself. And one other thing that I've found is actually a short walk over this way, but I will cut out the travel time so you are aware of what we're doing once we get there. So there's this desert area that we've come out to, mainly because the edges of deserts that run next to rivers are really good places for harvesting some sugarcane. But as I was wandering about, you'll see over here that we ran into a ruined portal. So I'm going to clean this area up a little bit more, and then we will use this as our main portal for getting back over to this mining area, because I don't anticipate building anywhere near here. I'm actually going to take my business out a little bit further to, I believe that's the north. No, that's actually going to be out towards the east. So we're going to take our business out towards the east here because there is a village that I ran into a couple hundred blocks further that way that I'll want to set up a little bit closer to, mainly because of the resources that we're going to need for villager trades and other things. I've already looted this chest. The only thing I left in here is a fire charge, but we did end up getting a very nice golden chest plate out of here, as well as a decent axe that has unbreaking 2. Though I don't foresee myself using that anytime in the near future. Maybe the next time this axe breaks, we'll start dabbling with that one a little bit. But we will get this portal up and running by the end of today's episode. And for now, we're going to break into that time lapse where we put together the more finer details of that strip mine. So let's roll that time lapse footage, and I hope you enjoy. Well, I think that was a pretty productive little time lapse there. So you're probably seeing some things that went awry with that, and I'm going to address them as I correct them here. So let's just walk back through briefly or momentarily what we've got here before we head over to that nether portal to get it up and running. So as you saw, we had a couple of mishaps putting together this bridge. I did expand it out one on both sides and put up some banisters here just to prevent any mobs from swimming over from either side of here as we're getting the thing put together. Another thing that was a little bit of an unfortunate oversight is with the placement of these lanterns, it actually leaves these sections here at a light level of 7. So rather than go back around and adjust the spacing on everything, I just wanted to put a couple of slabs here as that will spawn proof this section, as this was the only one that is sitting at a low enough light level to spawn in any of the mobs. You don't have to worry about it here on the walkway for the stairs that are present. My one oversight here is that if I walk straight down the middle, I will knock my head on these lanterns as we come down. But as long as I go to the left or right, we're going to be fine. And coming on the up end or ascending this area, we don't run into any of those problems. So down here, we've got similar things where we've got some slabs labbed out on the sides here, and that will just kind of help make things come together a little bit nicer. I could technically place a central rib here, maybe with some fence posts or other things for some aesthetics. If you have some thoughts or input on that, walls or other things, just let me know in the comments down below, as I am open to some suggestions here. We've cleaned up the last end part of the hallway here, and eventually we will take this center column down in that 3x3 pattern and continue placing these lanterns in that 6 block spacing, as that will still provide us the lighting that we need between places in this corridor, and then we will continue to light up these hallways with our torches as we continue through there. So overall, pretty happy with how well this has come together, and I think this is going to make it feel a little bit more homely, if you will, as we continue through this hardcore adventure. So let's wait for nightfall to pass so we can set out on our adventure on a fresh set of a daylight counter, and we will pick back up over at the nether portal to make it look a little bit nicer, as well as make sure that we have that set to go for our next episode. Now, I do generally like to go into the nether, or I have tried to prioritize going into the nether once I have a good set of enchantment on my armor, but I don't think that's going to be feasible this time around, mainly because the cows that I normally have for my leather are that there's really not a good way to set them up here, and I don't really want to focus on setting up a good type of farm like that until I have a bunch of my more permanent living situations taken care of. So we'll probably hold off on that until we've got a more definite place of residence decided on. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and collect up a little bit of some additional coal for my furnaces and torches and such, and we'll pick back up at that nether portal after nightfall, or after we've reset from the night. Alright, so we're here over at that nether portal, so let's get things cleaned up a little bit. I thought that I would just kind of walk through this more in real time, if you will. And right like that, we will get the area around here dug up. My shovel's going to break, which is a little unfortunate, but sand goes decently quick with just having other things in hand. Probably should have had an extra handy, but it's whatever. Now, over here, we've got our, of course, our main entrance area. Looks like there's some slabs there. So we'll want to make sure that we redecorate some things a little along those lines. Let's get a few of these pulled up, and it looks like it goes all the way around in this type of pattern where they alternate between the brick walls and the cracked nether bricks. So let's get this put up here. And I think that's about as tall as we're going to want to make that portal, because these ones spawn in a little bit bigger than your minimum requirement for a portal. So let's go ahead and fill it in like so. That was not what I meant to do, so we're going to knock that one back down. This is the only tool that I've made out of diamonds so far, as I intend to mine a little bit more to make sure that I have enough diamonds for other gear. Really the only thing that I'm missing is a diamond chest plate. So let's, because fence posts are 1 extra in its height, we're not going to be able to grab that. So let's place you here. Let's walk over here and get these 2 put up. And then I actually think I'm going to alter over to some of these. There's a 3rd, so we'll bring these back, and then let's go ahead and get this cracked one on top like that and see how we feel. That was not what I meant to do, but it happened, so let's not talk about it. Probably could have used a torch to just get this down a little bit faster. But I actually think that that'll do okay. Let's dig out some more of this, and I'll come back with some other things and fill some more of these spots in. And then let's go ahead and fill these in with some bricks, and then grab our pick over here, take up these little slabs because they're not going to be as effective there. Let's actually replace this with one of these. And that ought to just about do it for the renovation of this. So I think that that's pretty good. That looks a little interesting. Maybe I'll swap those out for some walls or otherwise. I mean, this is very much just trying to repair a portal or take after a portal repair rather than an original build myself, because this is not how I would design one. As a matter of fact, what I would do is even that out with that one there, just because I think that it looks better for the chest to be on top of the full one. Speaking of chest, let's go ahead and grab this fire charge. And just like that, we've got ourselves an active nether portal that will bring us back to our district for mining and resource gathering as well. Though, like I mentioned earlier, we will be setting up our main town quite a bit further that way. But having this will really help us make sure that we can get back over here in a timely manner as well. But we will not be venturing into the nether today because I'm going to do a little bit more grinding off camera, make sure that I've got that diamond chest plate. I also, based off of previous experience, want to make sure that I walk into the nether with at least one bale of hay to make sure that I do not fall off of anything and die like I have in previous hardcore worlds. But that is going to do it for today, I believe. So we will venture over into the nether in our next episode. So if you are excited to see that, please feel free to hit the like button. Don't forget to comment with any other suggestions that you may have when it comes to any of the build projects we've looked at, or even redecorating this nether portal. But until then, thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.